Oh, what in the world, everybody? Welcome to the party. My name is Hal Rudnick. This is the Your Pal Hal Show. We are live right here on Backchannel. That's right. Thank you for joining us. Oh boy, my hair is doing some particularly crazy things today. You know what? Sometimes you just have to abide. You just have to abide and just ride the wave. You just let the natural curls do their thing. It's one of those days. It's Friday, everybody. Rebecca Black, she said it. It's Friday, 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 Friday. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. What's going on with you? What do you have planned for this weekend? What are you up to? What are you up to right now? Whatever it is, I appreciate hanging out with you while you're doing it. Are you working from home? Are you just taking the day off? Have you started the weekend early by cracking open a frosty beer? Are you having that Friday afternoon beer? Listen. This is a non-judgment zone. This is judgment-free. So whether you are paying the bills or drinking the day away, I'm glad to have you here with us. And we're going to be here for 2 hours having some pretty good times. We're going to have fun. We're going to be just talking about like what's going on in the news in the world. Yeah, there's some depressing stuff in the world for sure. The situation in Ukraine. We're not going to dwell on that too much, but it's in my thoughts. But I'm going to I'm going to compartmentalize a little bit. You ever do that with your life? You got something going on in your personal life, and then you have to go into work, and you're not going to. You gotta You got to compartmentalize a little bit. So it's not going to be, we're not all Ukraine all the time here. But my thoughts are with the people that are under attack in the Ukraine right now. We're going to be talking about movies, pop culture, and you know what? If you're hanging out with us here, there's going to be goofs, gags, shenanigans, hijinks, and nonsense. You're always going to enter the nonsense zone a little bit when you're hanging out on the Your Pal Hal show. And it's 11:04. We're going to take you up till 1 p.m. here on the West Coast, taking you up till 4 p.m. on the East Coast, taking up to 3 p.m. in Omaha, Nebraska, and up till 9 p.m. in London, England. And I would love it so much if you would participate in the show. Yeah, I want to hear from you. So I want to know what you're doing. Are you working from home? Are you day drinking? Are you daydreaming? Are you wide awake and dreaming? Let me know what's going on. And you can communicate with our show a couple of different ways. One, if you're hanging out and listening to us on your at-home smart device, you can get your smart device's attention, use the magic word, say. Say is the magic word. And then drop in anything after that. So, smart device, say, I'm just hanging out drinking peach schnapps. Or smart device, say, I'm staring into the void, contemplating existence. Or smart device, say, I'm doing mindless data entry. Thank you for keeping me company. Whatever it is you're up to. Or go to YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube, and chit-chat with us there as I adjust my camera. Yeah, type, let's chat. You know how the chat works. You're not a fool. Or you can go to backchannel.tv, and you can chat with us, and you can read, or you can leave reviews of the show. You can say, you know what? Hal really knows me, and so much so when he mentions day drinking. Or you could say, I wish Hal would stop talking about day drinking. Or Hal talks about day drinking so much. Has he been day drinking? The answer is no. But on a Saturday, I might. It's a very rare occurrence for me. But if I go out to brunch, every so often I'll brunch it up. And you know what? Brunch is day drinking domain. All right. Grass puddles in the house. Good pal. Just a good pal of the show, an online friend. And Grass Puddle is here for the hijinks and the Seinfeld playing cards. Very nice. I went over I got a pack of Seinfeld playing cards a couple of years ago. I think it was the 25th anniversary of Seinfeld or something. And they sent me a little care package with that and some junior mints. And I'm a huge Seinfeld fan, by the way. A couple other things, but Seinfeld socks I got as well. Seinfeld socks. By the way, I'm wearing this watch. I don't know how well you could see it, but I found my childhood Swatch watch. I don't know if have you heard of Swatch watches? I found this. I literally had this when I was a kid, and now I'm wearing it. It doesn't run. It's not running. It needs a new battery, but otherwise, it's got a little scratch on it, but it's in good shape. And I like it. It's all black. I remember it's the blackout Swatch watch. And then I went on eBay to look up how much, like Swatch is kind of a kitschy, like 80s, brand. I wonder if it's appreciated in value. I saw this very watch listed anywhere from $75 to $300 on eBay. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, Swatch. But yeah, I don't know. I just like it, and it feels comfortable. I have another watch that I need to replace the battery as well because over the past couple of years during the pandemic, I've completely lost track of time. What day is it? What year is it? I know it's 2022. It's Friday, February 25th, 2022. But I stopped wearing watches because I was just home so much. But no, now that I found this when I was on a trip back home, and it was like in the pocket of a jacket, and I just pulled it out the other day. So I might start wearing my Swatch watch a little bit more. That's just that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Let's see where our friend producer Travis is at. Producer Travis couldn't do the show without producer Travis. He's got his hand on the controls. He's sitting at the control board. He's manning the ones and twos. Travis, are you holding it down on the ones and twos?
I'm holding it down on the ones and twos.
Right. You're I don't know if it's my volume. You're a little coming in a little hot.
Whoa, you just became much hotter on mine, too. Looking great. Hold on, let me see.
Right on. Oh, yeah, I adjusted my sound.
I'll never understand. I can rock the same level from day to day, and it...
Oh, you sound great now.
Thank you.
You sound good. Your boy Jonah in the house.
Hey.
Jonah! What is up, Jonah? Great having you here. Travis, what have you been up to? And I haven't seen you in 22 hours. I've missed you, Travis. What have you been up to?
Thank you very much. Big day. You were talking about how throughout the pandemic we lost a lot of stuff. Track of time, the urge to wear watches. And one of the great blows for me during the pandemic, besides a lot of other things, was the loss of bulk bins. You know, I'm a simple guy, and I like to live my life as if I'm playing, I don't know, Minecraft or Settlers of Catan, and just get, like, raw material. So I went to Sprouts the other night, and I guess I just haven't been there since the pandemic was over, but much to my surprise and delight, the bulk pins were back in full force, and I got... I went wild. There were walnuts on sale.
Digging in.
Just
wow! Look at that.
I'm not sure how much of that you can see.
Oh yeah, in the shell.
Yeah. Oh no, unshelled, shelled. Halves and pieces.
Oh, gotcha. Because I like to crack. I like to crack walnuts. We used to have a walnut cracker on the coffee table in the living room when I was growing up.
Oh yeah. Fun activity.
My wife just went to the. I'm a noted wife guy.
Noted wife guy.
Not afraid to talk about my wife. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I'm sorry, everybody. But my wife went to the farmer's market and came home with some walnut butter.
Whoa. Okay.
So peanut butter, like we've all been there. Travis, you could stand to go there a little more. Almond butter, sure, become kind of par for the course, popularized. Cashew butter, okay. Now we're getting into some rarefied air.
Yeah.
But walnut butter, hadn't heard of it. My wife came home with it, and you know what? It's just what you'd expect. It tastes like ground up, gooey, but creamy walnuts.
Huh.
Bulk bins and buffets. This is coming from our friend Rob Schaefer in Omaha, Nebraska, the official attorney of the Pal Hal show. Bulk bins and buffets are an absolute cesspool of disease and filth. I haven't eaten at a buffet or used a bulk bin in 20 years. And it's funny. My mom, my mom chimed in. Wow, that sounds great. But with the perfect timing that it sounded like she was responding to Rob Schaefer's disgusting comments about the bulk bin. But Rob, I kind of agree with you on that. I have loved not just buffets, but the salad bar at like Gelson's or Whole Foods. But everybody's touching those tongs. And then during the height of the pandemic, I saw a video where they had someone touch this like iridescent goo, and they had it on their hand, and they touched it they had a mock setup that was like a buffet, and they touched a ladle or a serving spoon on the buffet, and then everyone went through and touched the same utensils, and then they turned on black light, and that iridescent black light visible goo was freaking everywhere. So I'm not trying to, harsh your mellow here, Travis. Because listen, I'm a bulk. I used to be a bulk bin boy in college. I'm not proud of this, yet I will say it to everyone listening. In college, I would go to the bulk bins at the local supermarket in State College, Pennsylvania, where I went to school, and just open them up and just graze. Just graze. So, Rob Schaefer, but especially during the pandemic now, I'm not going to mess as much with buffets and bulk bins. But listen, if once a bulk bin boy, always a bulk bin boy, they say sometimes, right?
Hey,
Isn't that the saying? Isn't that the old saying?
That's the old saying. It's the oldest saying there is.
Yes. My mom says no. She wasn't saying a cesspool of disease and filth. Sounds great. She says it was my wife's walnut butter. Sounds great. And got to shout out some folks hanging out with us in the chat. William, hello. Stacy in the house. Stacy likes peanut butter that is creamy. Stacy, I do like peeny. I like creamy peanut butter, but I also like crunchy. I'm all up in some crunchy. Yeah, Stacy said you were coming in hot, way loud. Our friend Tim in New Hampshire, working from home, watching a lot of snow falling. You know what? I hope you enjoy the snow. I guess I have a romanticized view of the snow because I'm here in California, where it is cold currently. But it's California cold, so that's like 50 degrees, 45 degrees maybe. Like, we're not getting down into like freezing temps usually in at least the low-lying areas here. But I miss snow. I haven't seen snow in a few years because I used to go skiing in the winter, but I haven't done much traveling during the pandemic. Stacy says, who wouldn't want to eat up something? That your mom likes, I think is what she was saying there. Stacy, I feel you. Esperanza, thank you for being here. Ashley, Nani, thank you for joining the show. Sophia, William, Matthew, appreciate everybody hanging out right here on the Your Pal Hal show. And remember, the show is better when you get involved. So if you want to comment on anything we're talking about, whether you agree or you disagree, I'm just mostly I'm spouting a lot of opinions, and I'm no expert in I'm an expert in tomfoolery, and that's about it. So if you disagree and you want to let me know, this is an open forum. I just appreciate you being here. And I feel like the world needs just a little bit more discussion when disagreeing. So I appreciate that. Travis, I noticed you're wearing your Golden State Warriors sweatshirt again. Very nice, very nice. They're having quite a season, and we'll see. We'll see if Draymond comes back, Draymond Green, and but they're right in the mix. They're right in the mix this year.
It's getting nasty. Chris Paul and John Morant are both down for weeks on end, so the top 4 seeds of the West are now in complete disarray.
You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe that leaves the door ajar for these guys.
Okay. So no, but I don't want to see them in the first round either. I don't want that. I don't want that for me. If the Lakers,
LeBron, when Anthony Davis comes back,
mm-hmm.
You know what? Anything's possible when you got LeBron and AD.
That's true.
Anything's possible. But then again, the Lakers are like 4 games under 500 this year. So
we'll see.
We'll see.
Not ruling anything out. Not ruling anything out.
All right. You know what? Every day on this show, we talk about what's going on in the world via the Twitter website. And we dive into the Twitter sphere. We wade into the Twitterverse, and we talk about trending topics. Let's check out some Twitter trends. Start out with let's talk about a little Ukraine stuff. Little Ukraine clashes with Russian forces in the capital of Kyiv, says Ukraine. By the way, Grass Puddle pointing out Minnesota Lakers. Yeah, the Minneapolis Lakers were, that's where they got their name. Because Los Angeles, not the land of 10,000 lakes. Minnesota. There it is. Thank you, Grass Puddle. Following Russian invasion of Ukraine on Thursday, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said that scores of people have been killed. Early Friday, multiple explosions were heard in the capital city as the Ukrainian military reported clashes with Russian forces in Kyiv. The U.S., EU, and a number of other countries have announced new sanctions against Russia in response to the latest developments. It is, not... this is a full-scale invasion. This is war. It's ugly. People are dying, and this country just invaded a sovereign nation. Invaded Vladimir Putin, a maniac. And then there are protests in Russia. There are ugly pictures coming out there. Peaceful protesters. And I'm not talking here, in the United States, some protests can get violent. And there can be, unfortunately, looting and other forms of violence that happen. But these were literally just peaceful protests, people walking with signs, and the news footage. I mean, I only know what I see on the news, but people being dragged away by police just simply for peacefully protesting. It's really in Russia, in Ukraine, it's not pretty what's happening right now. And what else do we have there, Travis, as far as trending under the Ukraine? So where Russian soldiers have attacked. Yeah, so it's this three-pronged attack from into the Ukraine by several different points that are bordering Russia, and then from Crimea and by sea. So yeah, here's a map, updated map. Here's some bullet points, what you need to know. Chinese state media has said that Putin and President Xi Jinping spoke on Friday, with Putin agreeing to open negotiations to end hostilities. The EU joins the U.S. and other countries in implementing sanctions against Russia. On Friday, approved additional items, including freezing the assets of Putin and Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. In a midnight address, Zelensky says Russia sabotage groups have entered Kyiv and has urged residents to be vigilant and observe curfew rules. It's funny, just right there. Oh, and Amanda Bynes. Amanda Bynes is. By the way, Travis, can you add that to our list of trending topics? I would like to see what Amanda Bynes is up to.
You got it.
Great. Rob Schaefer brings up something that I saw as well. So heavyweight boxing champions, the Klitschko brothers, one of the Klitschko, I think it was Vladimir Klitschko, was the mayor of Kyiv. If I'm not incorrect there. Rob Schaefer saw an article stating that Vladimir and Vitaly Klitschko are going to take up arms and go fight the Russians. Good for them. Can you imagine any of our pro athletes doing that? I mean, yeah. I mean, you had Pat Tillman was a great example. Pat Tillman was, the term patriot gets thrown around a little loosely nowadays. Like when idiots were storming the U.S. Capitol and they were trying to bash the doors open, they called behind them, "We need more patriots." Those guys, opposite of a patriot. Like a lot of these guys with the Punisher stickers on their car, not patriots. But Pat Tillman, Arizona Cardinals football player, he left football. He stepped away to join the military after 9/11 and was fortunately killed in friendly fire. But few and farther between, Rob Schaefer. We do have, and thankfully we haven't come to this point where our sovereign nation has been invaded and people have had to make those decisions. Like we have the luxury of, like, we're so fortunate for the lives we have and the so much abundance in this country, even though there's horrific homelessness and people can go bankrupt from not having health insurance. Oh my goodness. Or just, having the wrong health insurance. Grass Puddle says, I'm sure there are a few gun nut athletes, but very few. Yeah, or a few, or people who would just want to defend this land, but also I'm sure, gun nut athletes. Yeah, you have, Plaxico Burress and the New York Giants blasted himself in the leg with his own gun. You have gun nuts of all shapes and sizes. But all that aside, the Klitschko brothers stepping it up. And you know what? I would like if we just get one of the Klitschko brothers versus Putin. Just hand-to-hand combat. That's it. Putin, former KGB agent, very skilled. I think that might actually be, because Putin probably knows all sorts of martial arts and stuff. We showed that clip the other day of him doing showing a kid this judo move. He's friends with Steven Seagal. What about, maybe trial by combat. Putin could pick Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal on behalf of Russia versus Vitaly Klitschko or Vladimir Klitschko. You know what? I'm here for it. Rob Schaefer wasn't saying they wouldn't join the fight. And Ndamukong Suh, J.J. Watts, and others, that would be terrifying for any invading force. Gotcha. Yeah, if we, imagine, like hitting the beach. It's like the offensive and defensive lines of every NFL team. Yeah, that's very intimidating. Very intimidating. Thank you for the clarification, Rob Schaefer. Appreciate you. Um, so yeah, so this is just an ongoing international nightmare, folks, and we are seeing it all live on broadcast on the news. And not only is this ongoing situation evolving, the war, the war just snowballing here, but there are other international ramifications in regards to this. So Finland has talked about potentially having to protect themselves, and Finland is not in NATO, but they brought up that consideration, and Russia wanting to kind of dictate the pace of the world. Russian. Oh, could you go? Can you scroll back to that? Great. Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs says there would be serious military and political repercussions if Finland were to be granted NATO membership. I mean, like this was they didn't want Ukraine to join NATO. Now it's like, Finland, you don't join NATO, and Russia is really trying to gain pole position here in terms of being this world power and dictate so much of the standing of the EU, of Europe, the continent of Europe. Yeah, it's really an unfortunate situation. Grass Puddle saying, ex-Steeler Villanueva, Army Ranger. He's a lineman. Very cool. Thank you for that, Grass Puddle. Rob Schaefer chiming in. So Xi and Putin met last night. My prediction stands. Xi said he wouldn't condemn Putin if Putin doesn't condemn China when China takes Taiwan in a couple of weeks. You know what? I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him. And, just these superpowers aligning, huge military forces. Yep. We are in, may you be blessed to live in interesting times. And yeah, I think we're a little too blessed. The proverb goes, may you be blessed to live in interesting times, or something like that. Yeah. A few less blessings, please. Hashtag too blessed. Too blessed, so stressed. All right. So ongoing, it's everywhere. And yeah, I'd be remiss if I didn't touch on it. And I think, I, for one, just absolutely wish, thoughts, prayers. I know that's fairly meaningless, but to the people of the Ukraine. Russia has been banned from this year's Eurovision Song Contest after its deadly invasion of Ukraine. Bam! All right. Talk about putting the kibosh on them. The sanctions. Boom! You've just been sanctioned right out of the Eurovision. All right. Eurovision 2 with Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams. That's going to be the storyline. Let's see what's up with Amanda Bynes. It's Bynes time. This is the part of the show we call Bynes time. Travis, what is happening with my girl Amanda Bynes? Amanda Bynes, child star, Disney Channel, I think. I always get the Nickelodeon and Disney Channel shows confused, but she publicly kind of had some tough times a few years ago, but you know what? She's on the come up. She's on the comeback. She's getting her life in order. She's cleaning up her act. What's up with Bynes? What do we got with Amanda Bynes? She was trending. She got that face tat. Amanda Bynes files to end conservatorship after nearly 9 years. All right. Like, free Britney, free Amanda. Yeah, go to the New York Post. Let's see what's up. Amanda Bynes filed to end her conservatorship. Amanda Bynes filed court documents Wednesday to end her conservatorship nearly 9 years, page 6 exclusively confirms. The former actress, 35, requested to terminate both the conservatorship of her person and estate in a petition submitted to the Ventura County Superior Court. Bynes also filed a capacity declaration Tuesday, as California requires all conservatorship cases to have updated records about a conservatee's mental state and their physician, psychologist, or religious healing practitioner. A hearing is scheduled for March 22nd. Bynes' attorney, David A. Esquilbas, said in a statement to People Friday, Amanda wishes to terminate her conservatorship. She believes her condition is improved and protection of the court is no longer necessary. The Nickelodeon alum was placed under a conservatorship in August 2013, giving her mother, Lynn Bynes, legal control of her personal, medical, and financial affairs. The move came after Amanda, then 27, was hospitalized on an involuntary psychiatric hold for allegedly starting a small fire in a stranger's driveway. I mean, yeah, that's kind of a non-starter right there. The She's the Man star tweeted in November 2014 that she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder 1 month after a second 5150 hold. Well, you know what? Wishing the best for Amanda Bynes. Nothing but love. Sending well wishes to Amanda Bynes. Free Amanda Bynes. Hope she's well, and gets everything back on track. Shout out to Baby in the house. Shout out to Judy in the house. Thank you for joining us. Sophia says, I love this show. Sophia, we love you. Thank you for being here. Excellent. And Stacy says, God can take care of all war and food shortages and everything you think of. You know what, Stacy? Hopefully God, the universe, and everyone, all the powers that be, take care of those who need it. I appreciate your sentiments, Stacy. Rob Schaefer. Rob Schaefer. Rob Schaefer's a Renaissance man. He is a master chef, an iron chef, and an executive chef, a lover of pop culture, a fountain of information, a trivia whiz, and he's an attorney. He went to all the school. He has all the documents, and he is the official attorney of the Your Pal Hal show. If you ever find yourself in Omaha, Nebraska, and your back is up against it, you're in a little bit of legal hot water, well, you could do no better than to enlist the services of Rob Schaefer, attorney at law. Rob Schaefer chimes in with his legal acumen. Conservatorship law is very complex. Once a court rules that a person is not mentally competent, it is very tough to persuade the court to reverse itself. Thank you, Rob, for weighing in on that. And yeah, it seems like that. Otherwise, the whole Britney Spears thing. I mean, I wonder, there's the conservatorship, but then there's also, are the people handling the conservatorship on the up and up? And so I'm much less familiar with the Amanda Bynes situation, but with the Britney Spears situation, yeah, it was like her dad was, it seemed to be taking advantage of the wealth and everything that came along with that conservatorship. But yeah, I appreciate that. It's a difficult conundrum, difficult situation to free yourself from once it is in place. All right, let's see what else we got in the trending topic zone. So live action Little Mermaid is happening, and there was I came across this casting news. Maybe you saw it in the past day or so. Still trending. The Ursula auditions. So I don't know who all they brought in to audition for Ursula, one of the iconic Disney villains. Ursula, just badass, a boss, and also, and I'm not, I'm not like speaking out of like the wrong side of my mouth here. That Ursula, like for people of larger size, for plus size women, for bigger people, she was like a real icon. And not even big people. Like Ursula is just badass and like kind of an iconic thing. But like that character showing just like a woman, like a female character. She wasn't a woman. She was like what, an octopus? But like an octopus woman. Just owning it, being plus size and being like cool as hell. An iconic character. So anyway, the casting for Ursula came down to, or among others, Lizzo, the R&B hip hop sensation, and also kind of an icon for plus size folks, just as far as like body positivity and all that, and very funny actress Melissa McCarthy. And Melissa McCarthy, so here's so Lizzo came out and about it and said that she auditioned, she didn't get it. Melissa McCarthy got it, and then they ran into each other at an event, and it was all cordial. It was all very nice. And Melissa McCarthy had the best response for Lizzo after she got cast as after she got cast as Ursula. Melissa was like, well, why the hell did I get the part? Lizzo says, I was down to make Ursula a thought. Which is very fun. THOT, thought, which stands for that hoe over there. So it's just like, listen, Ursula, all about just getting into like some nasty biz, all about getting into some nasty biz. I think Lizzo would have been fun. But Melissa McCarthy is great, and she's got just like the acting, comedy, training chops. I mean, I spent some time at the Groundlings Comedy Theater in Los Angeles, and I got to work with Melissa McCarthy, some improv stuff, and I got to work with her husband, Ben Falcone, who directed some of her movies, and she's just like, force, just a comedy force. So I'm sure Melissa McCarthy is going to be great. I think Lizzo would have been a super fun choice, but yeah, Melissa McCarthy has got some real chops. But you know what? I'm glad they could laugh about it, and they didn't throw hands. That would have been, who do I want to see throw hands? Vitaly Klitschko and Vladimir Putin, like boxing or anything goes, street fight. Melissa McCarthy and Lizzo, hug it out. And my mom reminds me, and yes, this was lovely. I got to interview Melissa McCarthy with my mom, Deborah Rudnick. We interviewed Melissa McCarthy and the cast of Life of the Party, a film she made a couple of years ago where she played a mom who decided to go back to school and embarrass her daughter. And my mom came with me on this junket, and we interviewed Melissa McCarthy and the cast. And what were we asking, Mom? Like stuff like, can you get my son to clean his room, or can you get my son to? Can you have any tips that for my son to help him find a woman to marry? Well, maybe it must have worked, Mother, because bam, I got a ring on it. There it is. It worked out. So I guess Melissa McCarthy ended up giving me advice that led to me getting married. Sort of, not really, kind of, but not at all. But It was very fun, and they were very nice to my mom. So there you go. Melissa McCarthy, Ursula, Lizzo. Uh, you know what? Maybe keep auditioning. Listen, you got to keep auditioning. That's acting for you. That's acting. Let's see what else is trending here in the news. Okay. This is a question that is very hard to answer, but listen, if you want easy questions, go elsewhere. This is where we ask the tough questions. So it was trending, and this is like something that pops up every now and again. It's not trending because of I think anything in particular, but it's top 3 MCU movies. Top 3 MCU movies, and there's a nice stack of DVDs or Blu-rays. Oh yeah, there's all of them except for No Way Home, because I don't know if that's I don't think that's out yet. But look at that! Look at all. Oh, it keeps going. Yeah. Yeah. So, what about you? What do you think? What are your, like, the MCU has had at this point like 27 movies or so? What are yours? What are your top 3? Chime in. I want to know. The show is better with your participation, with your commentary. So let me know, what are your top 3 MCU movies? Again, if you want to chat with us, talk to your smart device. Get your smart device's attention. Use the magic word "say," and then drop in anything after that. So, smart device, say, my top 3 MCU movies are Eternals, and more Eternals. Or smart device, say, my top 3 MCU movies are Thor, Thor Dark World, and Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok I could see putting on there. The other ones, maybe not. Shout out to Hari. Thanks for joining the show. Oliver's in the house. Rob, appreciate you being here. Listen, there's room for more than one Rob. In addition to Rob Schaefer, attorney at law, the official attorney of the Your Pal Hal show. Thank you for being here, folks. And please let us know, what are your top 3 MCU movies? If you're hanging out with us on YouTube, let us know via YouTube. What are your top 3 MCU films? I want to know. Hey, Travis, come on in, Travis. Travis,
Hey.
I know you're a fan of the comic books and the comic book movies. Mm-hmm. Would you mind filling us in on your top 3 of the MCU?
Sure. This used to be a lot easier than it is now. It was ever since I saw No Way Home, it was pretty much locked. Actually, someone on Twitter had my exact take. But things are different. So up until maybe a week ago,
yeah,
it was Captain America Winter Soldier, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Avengers Infinity War in some order that would rotate depending on, I guess, which one I'd seen most recently. However, one of my friends pitched me why Civil War is the only good Marvel movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was, like, oh, all right, well, plead your case. And now he's speaking not so much as a fan of comic books, but as a fan of movies. And his argument was, Civil War is the only movie that has personal stake and that has conflict that means something beyond objective. The idea that the movie is about these friends beating the absolute tar out of each other because of what they believe in. And even the villain had no goal of world domination, trying to find a secret MacGuffin to make some wish happen. He was just there to make sure everybody hated each other. That was his only thing. And what you end up with are several fight scenes that, window dressing aside, Spider-Man aside, Ant-Man aside, all this stuff aside, that feel real and draw on the relationships that the other movies had spent so long building, so credit to the other movies. But particularly the end, where you have Winter Soldier, Captain America, and Iron Man in that room, and that thing happens where all of a sudden Iron Man goes, whoa, and Captain America has to decide, like, I have to protect my friend, you're my friend, and then Iron Man goes, I thought we were friends, and like reductionist dialogue, but then they have an all-out brawl, which is representative of
Yeah.
their fractured relationship, and then it just ends and nobody wins.
Mm-hmm.
Or there, I mean,
Well,
there is, yeah. And what I mean to say is, it's like Captain America, one side wins, and the other side loses, and it's like, and now their friendship is over.
mm-hmm.
And in terms of movies, like
Yeah.
what we look for in stories, I had a hard time arguing that that's not the most compelling one.
Yeah. You know, the the fight sequences, like that ending fight between Cap, Bucky, and Iron Man, epic, and it had the I think you verbalized the stakes of that rather well, and then the airport fight sequence where the two sides clash with each other, and Ant-Man goes giant, and and then Spider-Man swings in and gets introduced to everybody that way. Yeah, just so good. And yeah, I absolutely hear you. I think you make a compelling argument there. Rob Schaefer seems to agree with you. Captain America Civil War, Avengers Endgame, Thor Ragnarok. Grass Puddle with, you know what? I really like what Grass Puddle's putting down here. Winter Soldier, Thor Ragnarok, Guardians. Just the injection of fun that Guardians added to the MCU, announcing James Gunn as just like what a player in this space, of just like unabashed fun in the superhero world. So good. My mom, and she might be somewhat influenced by me as a kid, because I loved Spider-Man as a kid. My mom just says Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-Man right there. Very nice. And Rob Schaefer continues, Zemo is absolutely the best villain in the MCU. He has no powers or skills, yet he tears apart the Avengers. Yeah, really, Baron Zemo in Civil War, really manipulating, like master manipulator in that way. Let's check out some of the answers to this question, just see if we can come up with any consensus or what's popping up here on this Twitter feed. So Andre Malaire says, Winter Soldier, Spider-Man No Way Home, Avengers Infinity War. I mean, solid, pretty solid picks. Someone chiming in, exactly the same. Infinity War, Endgame, and Civil War. Yeah, I mean, Infinity War and Endgame, so good. For this question, I feel like I'd have to pick one. I would want to pick one of those. I wouldn't want those two clogging up the top two spots, or two of the top three. So, yeah, I'd pick one. You know, I might go with Endgame over Infinity War because it stuck the landing so hard, but Infinity War is so damn good, and it left you with that, it just built up everything and then left you with that cliffhanger of like, wow, what do we do now? What's going to happen? And just remember our collective just like bated breath culturally as we waited for Endgame to drop. So, I'm talking to myself back and forth between those two. Let's see a couple more of these answers, Travis. We could spend all day on this. So tier ranker, Avengers 2012, Black Panther, and Infinity War. You know what? I can't be mad at that choice. Can't be mad at that choice at all. Joss Whedon, Joss Whedon get a lot of hate these days, and for good reason. It's some of it. But Joss Whedon, he did the damn thing when it comes to that first Avengers movie. Like, there had been so many misfires, and trying to tell all of these stories and give so many mouths to feed, and like Joss Whedon came in and showed us that it could be done. Black Panther, a great movie, and just the cultural significance. I mean, having Killmonger and Black Panther wanting the same thing, but their methods so different and echoing just like actual real life culture uh, and situations, in addition to like being creating some amazing world building and just I think in terms of what makes it a better movie to enjoy. I mean, for me, other people might feel differently, but I feel like the representation also in that film was just really cool to see, and it opened up a whole new world there. Let's see a couple more of those. Oh, listen, Uncle Larry says, I stopped watching when the characters turned into sissies. Iron Man with anxiety, Thor into a fat alcoholic, Hulk into Bruce Banner who didn't want Hulk anymore. Come on, they're supposed to be, they're spelled wrong, supposed to be superheroes. I mean, that is inherent in superheroes. They are flawed. Superman feels like a stranger in a strange land, even though he's embraced by everyone. Spider-Man has his family killed, and he is dealing with the responsibility that comes with power. It's inherent. Travis.
Oh, also, just, from a when I stopped watching perspective, all those instances you mentioned happened over like a 6 to 7 year time span in terms
Yeah.
of theatrical release. Like from Iron Man 3 to like, or even from the second Avengers movie, or Iron Man 3 to Infinity War. No, Endgame is like, it's like almost a decade, dude.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If it was all complaining, or if it was all like superheroes and their like, oh, I don't, I'm not going there to see superheroes lay on the couch and talk to their therapist,
Yeah.
But you didn't lose people. People are still getting punched into the stratosphere. There's still no shortage of lasers, explosions, and just epic kick-ass battles. So yeah, I think a little bit of humanity adds stakes and like adds just such a thoughtful wrinkle that makes the movie transcend just like big dumb action. So yeah, I don't mind making the characters that much more thoughtful. Also, anyone who's like, oh, y'all are sissies, that you just played your hand,
Hey,
dude.
Justice League is
you're
right there.
dope.
Justice
You're a
League is
dope.
right there. Just watch that.
Yeah, right. I mean, especially Jack. I really dig. I say it every time it comes up. Zack Snyder's Justice League, the Snyder cut. Didn't want to like it, but I really dug it. And yeah, like the stories and the fuller picture of like Cyborg's story is so much more enjoyable, and it's fraught with like heavy stuff. So yeah. So there you go. That was trending. We could spend all day on this discussion and just like talk about the other different movies within this world, because there's so many combinations. There is not one right answer to this. Despite all of they're all right answers. It's kind of a personal thing. The MCU has really been the standard bearer. Is just like the floor is not very low and the ceiling can be super high.
Yeah.
So there you go. Always like talking about that stuff. Also, in some more regular news, it looks like our next nominee, potentially Supreme Court Justice, has been announced. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson nominated for the U.S. Supreme Court. Friday, the White House announced President Joe Biden's Supreme Court nomination of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to fill Justice Stephen Breyer's seat following Breyer's retirement at the end of the term. If confirmed, Jackson, who is currently serving on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit, will be the first black woman and sixth woman overall to serve as a Supreme Court justice. Keep it here for the latest. So, yeah, President Biden said before he was nominated, before he became president, that he would nominate a black woman to serve on the Supreme Court if he was afforded such an opportunity. And here we are, and he's made good on that. And you know what? I'm not saying anything that isn't out there. Women of color and black women have been one of the most overlooked and underappreciated demographics in society, even though they, time and time again, from elections to Stacey Abrams to so many instances, have come and stepped up and helped save America when it's been in peril. And representation matters, especially when it comes to making the laws that govern the land and having a voice in that procedure, in those rooms where these laws of the land are decided. So hopefully, the things go smoothly here. We'll see what happens when she goes in front of Congress and is under questioning as nominees are set to do. So Senate Democrats are plotting out a confirmation vote by early March for President Joe Biden's first Supreme Court nominee, Ketanji Brown Jackson, as Republicans signal there will be less of the rancor that surrounded former President Donald Trump's picks. All right, there you go. And also trending, you know what? I saw her trending, and she's not someone that I thought about in maybe decades, but it's a name from the 80s that it's like, oh, kind of funny that she's trending. The lovely and talented Ms. Morgan Fairchild. There she is. And so this guy posted, without looking it up, who's this? And I just remember, like, Morgan Fairchild, when I was a kid, she was essentially, I guess she was on either Dynasty or Falcon Crest or some nighttime soap opera. And I just remember her as, like, fancy pretty lady from the 80s. And she was also, and this is the smallest part possible, but I always associate her with the end of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. At the end of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Pee-wee Herman, they made a movie of his adventure, and James Brolin, the dad of Thanos, Josh Brolin, and Morgan Fairchild play Pee-wee and his friend Dottie, and in this big movie they made of his story, and it's pretty funny. I know it was just a tiny cameo from Morgan Fairchild, but the lovely and talented Morgan Travis, let's see what it says about Morgan Fairchild. And we get from Tim, paging Mr. Herman. Paging Mr. Herman, P.W. Herman. Very nice, Tim. Thank you. Also, from Tim, chiming in with his MCU picks, Black Widow, Avengers Endgame, Thor Ragnarok. There you go. There you go. And he said, guessing that the Sony Marvel movies, X-Men and Deadpool don't count. Yeah, like if we start counting those, I think I would want to make it like, okay, top 3 superhero films of all time. So yeah, just keeping it MCU just to give us a little bit more focus there. All right. Fairchild was on Falcon Crest. Thank you, Rob Schaefer. And he said, wait, was that a recent picture of her? I'm not certain. Wife City. What?
This might be my new favorite Twitter account. If it's just something called Wife City, the @City of Wives, like what? This is great.
Let's click on that. Click on Wife City, City of Wives. Because I'm a noted wife guy from way back. Going to start saying Wife City whenever I see an attractive woman. Wife City. Ooh, Wife City. Let's scroll through Wife City, Travis. Make sure it's all on the up and up. Morgan Fairchild, meow. Kristen Bell, Wife City. Yeah, Dax Shepard wasn't kidding around. Meow. Felicity Jones. Oh, call the doctor. I'm taking a trip to Wife City. Alexandra Daddario. Very good. All right. You know what? Nicely done. Nicely done. What would be the dude equivalent of Wife City? Husband Town? Travis, what do you think?
Husband Town's pretty good. Husband Town is not bad. Husband Town.
Yeah, yeah, that rolls off the tongue, right?
Yeah, Husband Town.
Husbandville. No, Husbandville is harder to say.
Yeah, Husband Town.
Husband Town.
Wife City and Husband Town. Just across the elopement highway. All right.
What about Holly Gutierrez says Husbandville.
All right.
Okay.
Point for Husbandville. All right.
What about Dadberg?
For dad material?
Ooh, Dadberg. Oh, or what about Husbandshire comes well, that's not bad. Zaddyville?
Yeah, Zaddyville. Husband Town and Zaddyville.
Gotcha.
It's pretty good.
Rob Schaefer says, I always think of the John Lovitz skit on Saturday Night Live when I think of Morgan Fairchild. Oh, I'm trying to remember. John Lovitz talking about Morgan Fairchild. My mom says Big Poppy. Big Poppyville. I mean, I like that. I do associate it a little too closely with Hall of Fame slugger David Big Poppy Ortiz. Although my mom spells it Poppy, Big Poppy is Papi. It is noon 05 right here on Backchannel. You're hanging out with me. I'm Hal Rudnick. This is the Your Pal Hal show. And every day on our show, we take a look at a Twitter account, a Twitter hashtag, a trending topic that we just want to dig into a little bit more. And we do what's called our deep dive into a Twitter account. And you know what? I stumbled onto this, and I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. We are going to look at the Twitter account. Don't adjust your device. It's a bear, just the woodland creature. A bear has an actual Twitter, and I think he's operating it with his powerful paws and claws and snout and teeth. I don't know how he does it. And I don't know, like, he's a very smart bear. And we are going to check it out. This is the Twitter account belonging to a bear. It's his Twitter handle is at _single_bear. A single bear. Here's his bio. Hello, I am a bear. Replacement furs for humans are available here. Okay. Oh, so there's a store. He has his own store. Very good for him. Hello, I am a bear.com. And he has a decent following, 136,600 followers. That's a healthy amount of followers for this bear. Seems very friendly right out of the gate. Well, let's see. You know what? There was a song a few years ago. What does the fox say? I want to know, what does the bear say? We're going to find out. So here we go. Here's his pinned tweet. We all deserve to be treated kindly. I am a bear. That's a nice message. And there's a little cartoon. It says understanding. We all deserve to be treated kindly as a bear comes across a possum. Even the ones who bite, hiss, and scream, they might need it more. And that has the possum kind of attacking the bear there. I am a bear. Okay, that's you know what? We all deserve to be treated kindly. That's a good message. I got to get behind that. What else does a bear say? Okay, this from a couple days ago, February 23rd. I often ask if I'm allowed to be where I am, but I never get an answer, so I continue being there until I'm yelled at. It's a very stressful process. I am a bear. Yeah, think about it. A bear doesn't know if it's walking and a bear walks into your yard or climbs over a thing and ends up in your yard, or you leave your back door open and a bear ends up in your home. They don't know, folks. Maybe have some bear spray on hand if you live in a bear populated area. Bear spray, good for dealing with bears, bad for spraying at people at mass gatherings. There's been a little too much bear spray in the news. Today is another day to find a bag full of some kind of red sauce and eat it until you feel upset. I am a bear. There you go. I am not this bear, but I respect this bear. I am a bear. We talked about the chonky bear. This is the chonky bear, a black bear known as Hank the Tank, broken into more than 24 California homes since July. Officials say paintballs, beanbags, sirens, tasers cannot keep this 500-pound animal from seeking leftover pizza and other food. Yeah, there's the chonky bear. We talked about him. This chonky bear. Travis, did you see this bear? Someone made a mock-up of the California flag, which has a bear on it, but replaced
That's wonderful.
the bear. Yeah, with this big chunky chunkster.
A friend of mine did a crude line drawing representation of Hank the Tank in solidarity, and I've never seriously considered the tattoo until that point.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Quite silly.
Listen, respect bears. Respect plus-size bears. All right, can we say that?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Very good. All right, let's see what else is going on with a bear. This is the Twitter account of a bear. Let's celebrate it. What do we got here? A bear, a small dark refuge, a luxury few enjoy, a decent cave nap. That was a bear haiku, everyone. This bear is serving up haikus. Holly Gutierrez chiming in. Respect all bears. Very nice. Oh, just what a sweet creature. No ill will. You know? I'm never asked to leave the Taco Bell whose door I can wiggle open, but I am almost always met with shouting. I am a bear. Very good. Ending all his tweets with "I am a bear." Kind of like, I don't know if you ever saw Tom Hanks tweet. He signs them all Hanks. Like he'll tweet, and it's like it's coming from his account, and he signs it Hanks. Tim says this segment is unbearable. Oh, Tim. And Tim also says, great minds think alike. Rob Schaefer said he thinks of John Lovitz on Saturday Night Live. I didn't quite place it, but then Tim says, wasn't Morgan Fairchild John Lovitz's wife in that sketch? So nicely done. Great minds. Rob Schaefer in Omaha. Tim, our friend in New Hampshire, I consider that like a virtual handshake across the country, you two. Like Rob Schaefer and Tim, you're friends now. All right? That's it. A couple more of these unbearable bear tweets before we move on real quick. A couple more. Your hisses do not trick me, raccoon. I know you only want comfort and support, and the tiny fangs go through my nose are just trying to be understood. I am a bear. Very good. One more. I'm going to read you this comic strip that's right here. I do not like confrontation. I am a bear. And, oh my God, the bear coming across one of those Boston Dynamics robot dogs as the furless metal... Make that slightly bigger, please. As the furless metal nightmare finds me, I wonder, how will I find sound sleep after doing what must be done? I am a bear. And he destroyed the Boston Dynamics robot dog. All right, so this bear just wants to be loved and respected and respect other creatures. You know what? The next time I'm out in the woods and I see a bear, I'm just going to give it a hug and tell it I love it. On second thought, I'm not going to do that because it will hurt me. That was the Twitter account deep dive. I am a bear at I_bear_ at I_am_bear. I'm a bear. There you go. It's 12:14 on the West Coast here in the home office, Los Angeles, California. I am Hal Rudnick, a.k.a. your pal, Hal. Thank you for being my pal and hanging out with us. Alexei in Alabama joining the stream. Thank you for being here. I want to give a shout out to Stella, Taylor, Steve, Cole, J-Lo, Nathan, and sometimes C, Bella, Stacy, Sunny, Chandler, Verona, Deb McIntosh, Gliss. Thanks for being here, Gliss. Amanda in Vermont, Steve in California. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us today. Oh, Travis, one of your friends, maybe in the middle of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Like, do you want to? Can you ask them if they have any?
Look, I've been trying to communicate with this person for years, and it just seems like we're not getting through. In fact, what I found out just recently is that all of their comments are actually web addresses that lead to a phishing scam. So, yikes.
Gotcha. All right, so these are bots.
Yeah, these are bots. These are bots.
And this is a bot that is whose name is that's the Cyrillic alphabet, right?
Yeah, yes, and sometimes there'll be English names, Cyrillic alphabet names, but always with the same or a similar comment, which will, if followed on a web browser, will put you in prime position to get scammed.
Well, Travis, would you please ask your friends to stop trying to scam me?
Look, if I spoke the language, it's like the bear. We don't speak. All I can do is yell at them. We always come back.
I hear you. All right. It is 12:16 now. We're taking you up till 1 o'clock. And now let's move to a little segment we like to call Recs and Reviews. Recs and Reviews. It's Friday. What are you up to this weekend? Anything cool happening? Well, I like to binge watch. I like to watch a lot of movies. Talk about, as a matter of fact, I have a podcast that I co-host with my good friend Lon Harris, called Binge Boys, where we'll watch all sorts of programs and we'll talk about it, and we'll talk about streaming news. Also, we'll do a lot of nonsense, goofs, gags, and shenanigans. And Binge Boys, produced by producer Travis. It's available wherever you find your podcasts. Binge Boys, brought to you by Starburns Audio, from me and Lon Harris. So, along those lines, this is a great, like, the weekend's here. The weekend is upon us, and I like to watch. I like to watch movies. I like to I like to just veg out in front of the TV a little bit, and especially because I'm going out a lot less, and over the course of the pandemic. And either way, I was wondering what's good to watch, and not just like the brand new stuff, but what are like some of the old faves that are around. So I found this list on from Paste Magazine, the 50 best movies on Netflix, February 2022. Bam, right here, right now, 50 best movies on Netflix. Oh, Rob Schaefer saying, one day I also hope to be the official attorney for Binge Boys. You know what? We might be able to swing something there, Rob. Let's, TBD. TV can't make any promises. You know what? We'll take that under advisement. But I appreciate that. Not out of the realm of possibility, Rob Schaefer. Let's say
If it
that.
makes it easy, I could pretend to get into a really embroiled contract negotiation with you and try to unionize with myself.
Oh my God,
Then you can
drama.
hire Rob Schaefer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if we need that podcast drama.
Just putting it out there.
Yeah,
I'm willing if it's necessary.
Taking it under advisement. Thank you, Travis. All right. So, thank you, Rob Schaefer. The 50 best movies on Netflix right now. Now, this is subjective, obviously, but there's some good movies. I've seen a lot of these. I was scrolling through the list. Lady Bird, the Greta Gerwig. Podcast payrolls are a lot tighter. This is true, Grass Puddle. Lady Bird, the Greta Gerwig directed film starring Saoirse Ronan, Laurie Metcalf as her mom, Lucas Hedges, Beanie Feldstein, Timothy Chalamet. Yeah, really enjoyed this movie. Great coming of age movie. Saoirse Ronan, Oscar nominated. Yeah, good stuff. Let's keep scrolling. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I mean, one of the great comedies of all time. Just a classic from Monty Python. Graham Chapman, John Cleese, Eric Idle, Terry Jones, Connie Booth. I got to sit next to Eric Idle at an event a few years ago. And I was like, I felt silly. Like, it was very surreal because this guy is literally a living comedy legend. And he's like, oh, so what do you do? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm a comedian. Like, I felt sheepish and like weird, like saying that. And but he was a total sweet gentleman. Yeah. Monty Python, Holy Grail. See what else? The Irishman. Yeah, so The Irishman, it's too long. Let's just say that. But really great film, other than being too long. I thought, as far as the way it handles the end of the road, like the end of life for a mobster, in addition to the whole story about the the mobsters and Jimmy Hoffa and everything, really well told. But the end of life, like when a gangster comes to the end of the road and they're like finding their end of life care, planning his own funeral. Robert De Niro's character. I thought it was a really kind of fascinating capper on these mob stories. I really enjoyed The Irishman. So that is there. It's the number 3 rated film here. Number four. Keep scrolling. Oh yeah, they said a lot. I Am Not Your Negro, which is an amazing documentary about one of the most important intellectuals and thinkers of our time, James Baldwin, who just a powerful voice as far as equality, civil rights, and the evolution of Black life in America. James Baldwin is brilliant, and this documentary from 2017, directed by Raoul Peck, just does an amazing job of capturing his thoughts and his life's work. James Baldwin, absolutely worth doing a deep dive and exploring if you're not familiar with his work. Keep scrolling, please. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I mean, hell yeah. How kick-ass is this movie? It's so damn good. Special effects. One of those sequels that it's like one of the rare sequels that is even better than the original. And, Schwarzenegger at the height of his powers, and James Cameron just revolutionizing so much in regards to special effects. And little Guns N' Roses on the soundtrack doesn't hurt either. I'm absolutely a Guns N' Roses enthusiast. Keep going, please. What was that? Oh, Uncut Gems. Yeah, Uncut Gems. Kanye West's ex-girlfriend's best work, Julia Fox. But the Safdie brothers. The Safdie brothers, so good. 2 movies that I've seen, Good Time and Uncut Gems. Oh my God, just like they're both thrill rides. Just as far as like the tension and the stakes for their characters. Adam Sandler, just great. Let's keep going. She's Gotta Have It, early Spike Lee. And yeah, this film, this is pre Do the Right Thing. And this film really kind of announced Spike Lee as just a directing force. And so worth looking at if you're a Spike Lee fan or a film fan. The Florida Project. I talked about Sean Baker on the show a couple of times because he had a well-regarded film this past year, Red Rocket. The Florida Project, just heartbreaking, truthful, raw. Willem Dafoe, so good in this, and a very different kind of Willem Dafoe, because a lot of times when we see Willem Dafoe, he's a maniac in the movie. Willem Dafoe, just a thoughtful, well-acted, grounded role. I mean, Willem Dafoe is great in this. Florida Project. Apocalypse Now, Redux or Redo. Francis Ford Coppola's epic masterpiece about the Vietnam War. 206 minutes. But this is like a re-edited version, a director's cut, so to speak, of Apocalypse Now. And that is there. Actually, I haven't seen Apocalypse Now since I was in college. I'm interested. I might watch that. It Follows. What a good horror film, and just a different take on the horror genre. If you haven't seen It Follows, it definitely has like kind of an indie, like A24 kind of vibe to it. But It Follows, so good, really worth checking out. There Will Be Blood. Oh my God, what do you say about this that hasn't been said? I mean, 2007. I don't think we appreciated it at the time, just how good the these two movies, There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men, are like those are two just crisp masterpieces that came out that year. There Will Be Blood, you have in like a peerless Daniel Day-Lewis performance, masterfully directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, and just a thrilling story of kind of this turn of the century manifest destiny kind of vibe. Great film, great film. Paul Dano's so good. Can't wait to see him as the Riddler. Uh, let's take a look at a few more of these. A cop movie. This one I haven't seen. It's a documentary. 107 minutes. Tight. Docu-fiction hybrid, a cop movie, conveys the essence of about cops in Mexico. So there you go. Might have to investigate that a little further. Want to keep scrolling, please. Step Brothers. Oh my God, I love it. I love Step Brothers. Just as dumb and as fun as it needs to be. That is available on Netflix right now if you're interested. Step Brothers, so damn good. By the way, I want to give a shout out to YouTube who joined the stream. Thank you for being here, YouTube. Alexei in the house. Thanks for hanging out. Lily, appreciate you being here. Potato, you say potato, I say potato. I'm just glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out. The Master, another Paul Thomas Anderson film. And I'll tell you what I love about The Master, and I am a big fan of this movie. A lot of people are like, not a lot happens. Two towering acting performances. Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix going toe to toe, like in just like an epic collision, the unstoppable force versus the immovable object of act. Like, yeah, love the performances in this film, and if you haven't seen The Master, yeah, it's kind of a fictionalized version of the L. Ron Hubbard story, the guy who started his religion, Scientology, allegedly after having a conversation with someone about, hey, how do you get rich? Start a religion. Oh, I'll do that. Travis?
The prison scene in this, where both Phil Sy Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix are held in adjacent cells. One of my roommates and I recreate that about once a week. Someone will just say one of the lines, and then we just start screaming at each other. It's great. It's a great time. Great movie.
Awesome. Yeah, I love The Master. So good. Let's check out just a couple more here. Some great films available. Raw. I haven't seen Raw, but I hear really good things. It is one of the best cannibalism films, apparently, that you can see. One of the best cannibalism films out there. Raw, a cannibalism horror film. Another Spike Lee joint, Da 5 Bloods. One of the last films, not the last film, one of the last films where Chadwick Boseman. We get to see him perform. Great Delroy Lindo performance. Da 5 Bloods. Creep, not familiar. It's from the starring Mark Duplass. I like the Duplass brothers, and I like Mark Duplass in particular. Creep, a horror film from 2014, directed by Patrick Bryce. And we'll stop at 20. Let's see, number 18 on this list. The Conjuring, I mean, it's kind of spooky. Next. I like The Conjuring. It's very scary. IP Man. I don't know IP Man. It's this is an Asian film, and don't know it, but it's considered a great film. There it is if you want it. And from Travis,
Ip Man, really good martial arts film. Donnie Yen at his absolute martial arts best.
Gotcha.
Great
Oh, I
film.
love Donnie Yen from Rogue One. Holly Gutierrez chiming in. Ip Man is great. All of them are. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Holly. Appreciate that. And The Lost Daughter. I I was just like crowing about Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix. Olivia Colman and Jessie Buckley in this movie, I was just like agog at their performances. In as much as uh, Olivia Colman is this woman who she's a professor and she's on a vacation, and Jessie Buckley plays the younger version of Olivia Colman, and Olivia Colman might, for my money, be wearing the heavyweight belt right now as far as like the most watchable best actor out there just doing the damn thing. Jessie Buckley like blew my mind, and like both of these performances, they say so much with just their face and their body language, and without literally saying anything at all, they speak volumes, and they're just riveting performances. So The Lost Daughter, absolutely worth watching. Written, directed, adapted by Maggie Gyllenhaal, and directed by her as well. Grass Puddle chiming in. Just watch Lost Daughter. Jessie Buckley is great. Yeah, Holly Gutierrez says it was an odd movie, not what I expected. Yeah, it's like just when you think more is gonna happen, it doesn't. It's like very much a less is more kind of movie. Like it makes you kind of observe the psychological workings of someone's mind, but without giving you quite everything you want. It's almost, it's yeah. I kind of had to like recalibrate as I got along, as I went along with the vibe of The Lost Daughter, but I really liked it. Rob Schaefer saying Ip Man is awesome. You know what? Okay, I've come away like after reading that list. Rob Schaefer, Holly Gutierrez, and Travis have like sold me on Ip Man. That's like gone to the top of my list. I need to watch that movie. And then I might put on maybe late at night just to like, maybe after a couple of drinks or something, revisit Apocalypse Now, the Redux. Okay. After reading that top 20. Also, I haven't seen Master since The Master, and I saw it on TV a while back. Anyway, that was fun. All of those movies on Netflix right now. This might be the last weekend for some of them because that was for February, and Netflix reshuffles every month or so. There you go. It's 12:34. Oh, watch along. Holly Gutierrez says I should do a watch along. Well, if I do the watch along, which I I was doing on my Twitch channel for a while, I can have the screen up if it's an Amazon Prime film, but if it's a Netflix, we'd have to do like, all right, let's all start it at the same time, and we can't see it. So Holly Gutierrez, maybe. I will spread the word far and wide on my Twitter at Hal Rudnick if that is the case. Thanks for being here, everybody. It just turned 12:35. We're taking you up till 1 o'clock. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate that. And taking you up till 1 o'clock here on the West Coast in the home office in California. The website had an Amazon Prime list. Grass Puddle? Maybe next time. You might have given me a segment for next week, and then maybe we can pick a movie from that. That might, you know what? We might have found a thing. We might be doing a thing. We might have found a thing. Thank you, Grass Puddle. It is a 3:35 on the East Coast, where we're taking you up till 4 o'clock. It is 2:35 in Omaha, Nebraska, home of Rob Schaefer, taking you up till 3 o'clock. And it is 8:35 in London, England, where we will be taking you up till 9 p.m. And now, you know what? Let's get dumb. Let's get dumb. Let's stay dumb. This is some dumb news. Dumb news. It's 0% enriching, and we've got a couple of dumb things to talk about. Thanks to Newser. Newser is a great website for bite-sized news stories, and here's the headline: He wanted a crossbow, was wearing stretchy pants. And thus comes another weird arrest in Florida. He wanted a crossbow, was wearing stretchy pants. I mean, we could kind of stop right there, but let's keep going. All right, if you make that slightly larger, thank you, Travis. Is that a crossbow in your pocket, or are you just... No. Police in Florida say a man stole a crossbow from a store by shoving it down the front of his pants, reports NBC News. More specifically, the Brevard County Sheriff's Office says one of the world's dumbest criminals stole a 33-inch crossbow valued at $1,300 from a True Value hardware store in such a manner, per Fox News and the New York Post. You can watch the video here or via the sheriff's Facebook page. To be fair, police say the tactic actually worked, at least temporarily. And the thief did, in fact, successfully leave the store. According to the sheriff's office, the video shows him using a single crutch in an apparent ruse to help disguise why he was walking funny. Store employees noticed the theft about 2 weeks later. Whoa! So he got away with this. But they noticed the theft 2 weeks later, checked surveillance video, and voila. Police then arrested 46-year-old Darren Durant, who faces no relation to Kevin Durant, easy money sniper Kevin Durant, who faces a charge of felony petty theft. Durant has 2 previous felony theft convictions. You just can't make this stuff up, wrote Sheriff Wayne Ivey. And Travis, can we show the video and talk over it, or?
I believe so. I think we have it up here at the top. I think that's going to be totally fine.
All right, let's see if we can take a look at this dude shoplifting a crossbow.
Oh, boy.
Dude shoplifts crossbow. News. Oh, wow. There he is. There he is. Just.
Oh, he taken.
Yep. Putting it down his pants, adjusting his jacket. It's
hold on.
Comically large. It's comically large.
There's so much crossbow to fit in your pants.
That's a lot of crossbow to fit in one's pants.
That's absolutely ridiculous. And he's just gonna go. Yep, and there he goes.
Yeah, and it's like not even wearing a trench coat. Like, no. Yeah, I mean he's kind of
wearing a bucket hat.
Oh yeah, and wearing a bucket hat. I mean,
and a crutch. Look at this. Oh,
wow. There he is, looking grizzled. Darren Durant, crossbow shoplifter. You know what? Hey, sorry, Hawkeye. Not today. Sorry, Daryl Dixon. Yeah, no, he is, yeah. He just needed it for his Daryl Dixon Halloween costume. He wanted to be, like, truly photo... like accurate as far as zombie killer Norman Reedus of The Walking Dead. Yeah, not today, Norman Reedus. That's great. This would-be Norman Reedus thwarted by Florida cops. All right, we got one more story. Let's go to our second dumb-ish. This is dumb-ish. Yeah, the rioter who grabbed Pelosi's lectern is ashamed. Uh, yeah, you should have thought of that before you took, like, if he wasn't a traitorous, seditionist, uh, insurrectionist, then it would kind of be funny because the picture, like, what a dope. Like, it was like the picture of this guy. Is the picture there? Can we find that picture? The famous picture of this idiot, of this moron. Is it there? Oh, do me a favor, Travis, and please find that picture. So, sorry to throw that at you. But yeah, can you find the guy carrying out the lectern from the Capitol, Nancy Pelosi's lectern? I mean, like what? Like what a jackass! Like what a moron! I mean, if he what? There he is. There it is. Famous picture. Like next to. I mean, there are. Yeah, there were a lot of like horrific idiots. I mean, I would say like the list of horrific idiots from this day. I mean, yeah, there's like thousands, but the ones that really like won the idiot award. I mean, the Q shaman. What a horrendous moron. The guy who put his boots on Pelosi's desk. Like what a disrespectful piece of crap. The guy in like the Holocaust sweatshirt. I don't even want to repeat what it said on it. Garbage human, and this numbnuts. Like look at him. Look at this dope. Look at him, like with his stupid smile, his little jaunty pose. It's almost funny. It's it's almost funny, but he's a traitorous moron. So, like, it's sad. But yeah, he was sentenced to prison. Moron sentenced to prison. Good riddance. You did the crime, do the time. Adam Johnson. Oh, and this was the funniest. This is one of the many, like, sad, funny parts to this story. Dude was a stay-at-home dad. Yeah, well, you're not staying at home now. Should have stayed home. Stay-at-home dad should have stayed at home. Now you're going to stay in prison for 75 days. 75 days. And let's take a quick peek at what it says here. Capitol rioter photographed with Nancy Pelosi. Her lectern is going to prison, though not for long. A federal judge on Friday sentenced Adam Johnson of Florida to 75 days in prison plus a $5,000 fine for his role in the January 6th events, reports NBC News. Johnson told the court he was ashamed of his behavior, sure. Said he grabbed Pelosi's lectern and started walking with it only because he thought it would make a good photo prop, you dope. He added that he understood that had he done this somewhere other than the U.S., he'd be on a firing wall instead of a courtroom. Johnson pleaded guilty to unlawfully entering. Yeah, try doing that at the Kremlin, dude. Like, yeah. Ugh. People don't know how good they have it. Like, that is privilege of the highest order. After a harrowing experience during the January. Also, let's not forget, like, let's bottom line this here. Blame Donald Trump. Blame him for creating and perpetuating this disgusting lie that dumb dullards like this dipwad believe. Rob Schaefer making an excellent point. At least he stayed between the stanchions. That was funny. Like, you had these people just flooding into the Capitol building and disrespecting this, like, some, like, hallowed ground in, like, this country. But then a lot of them did stay between the velvet ropes. So that's a good point, Rob. That's a good point. At the bare minimum. There's a little bit of order. All right, I've had enough of this piece of garbage. Human trash goes to prison. There you go. This dumb idiot. It is 12:46, and you know what? We're gonna end this show with a little bit of Ask Reddit, and found another Reddit thread, another question that kind of piqued my interest, and it also felt slightly related to a story that we went over yesterday. We went over some red flags for potentially bad places to work, and here is an Ask Reddit thread. What happened during a job interview? What stuff actually happened that let you know, yeah, this job not for me? So Travis, you don't have to bring. I mean, do you want me to bring it up and go through it?
Yeah, I was just showing the title of the page for, I don't know,
Okay.
posterity. I have no idea.
Sure. Yeah, for posterity. So the people who are transcribing every word we say of this show. Listen, if you want to transcribe this show, feel free. Thank you, Travis. All right. What happened during an interview that immediately made you realize you did not want to work there, no matter how much they offered you? Okay. This is from iam.org. iam.org. 3 or 4 people who interviewed me spent the entire time talking about how bad the company was and why I really don't want the job. The 4th was the CEO. His story was different. I didn't take the job. There you go. Wow. McGill chimes in. Good HR. Yeah, right. By the way, I want to give a couple of shout outs in the stream. Kevin in Africa, welcome to the party. Heather in Tennessee, thanks for being here. You know what? I'm not going to fall for any of your tricks, but I appreciate you being here. Scammy McScammerface in North Dakota. One of the great, I mean, that might win the name award for today. So thank you for being here, Scammy McScammerface in North Dakota. I appreciate you. All right, let's see. More of these. What happened during a job interview that immediately made you realize you wouldn't take the job for any amount of money? I tried getting a job as a telemarketer once. The interviewer had me go into another room and call her. She would pretend to be a person I'm trying to get money from. I started into the script and she said, "Oh, but I'm just a poor college student with no money." Even though I knew she was just pretending, I still felt terrible. I knew that I could never do that work in real life. I told her that my coming there was a bad idea and I had to leave. You know what? Good on you. I've done telemarketing in the like years ago. I did some telemarketing, and you know you do feel bad, and it is tough. You're like, people are saying no to you. The people you call are irritable. It makes you irritable. It's just it's a vicious cycle. So this Captain Fang made the right move. Godzilla's Tailor. Wow, you're making some big jackets if you're Godzilla's Tailor. Godzilla's Tailor on Reddit says, back when I was unemployed long term, I was applying for roles anywhere I could find really. I got an interview for a retail position. Not great, but better than nothing. First interview is a group one. I get through fine. Second interview with the manager of the store, he spends like 10 minutes telling me how crappy my resume is. Wow. That's unpleasant. That's going to make the person, even if the resume is bad, no bueno. no bueno. That, like, you don't want to make a person you're going to hire feel bad. Like, how bad will they be treated? That's, yeah, obvious. It's an obvious one. The amount, this next one, lost Lost Architecture, says the amount of lies discovered during the interview itself. They tell you one thing online and in emails only to see something different when you show up and go through the interview. If there was already that much lying and falsehood seen during the interview, no telling how much worse it can actually be. Could understand why the person left. There you go. There you go. And someone responds to that, yeah, I drive 40 minutes away to an interview at a company's headquarters for a posting in my local town. Posting was for $13.25 an hour, which wasn't great, but I was between jobs and needed income. Turns out I'd be traveling to different locations daily, but never more than 2 hours from my home. Also, pay started at 11 something per hour. Soon as I heard about the pay being a lie, I knew I wasn't doing crap for these people. I was polite, though, through the interview, and never followed up. Yeah, I mean, come on. A bait and switch as far as what the salary is. I mean, that's awful. Rob Schaefer chiming in, our pal Rob Schaefer. I was a telemarketer in high school selling AOL before they had internet access. It was brutal. Oh, yeah. Rob, what was it like? Was the script like, trust me, it's gonna be a thing? That's great. So those are a few of the bad job interview experiences that would cause you not to take the job no matter how much they offer you, because we are in a time of transition, the great resignation, hoping, fingers crossed for everybody, that you are you're gainfully employed, so on and so forth. All right, now it's time for rejected segments. There is one segment, throughout the show, we did a lot of nonsense, some good, some very good, but this segment, yeah, it's rejected. This is Hal reads the obituaries. Here I have the obituaries. All of these people no longer with us. Dr. Peter B. Heller, professor of New York City, died on January 15th, 2022. He was born in Paris in 1926 and lived in Europe and Egypt. He spoke 8 languages. He earned his BA, MA, and PhD from New York University and taught international studies, comparative politics, and American government at Manhattan College for 55 years before retiring in 2018. His lifelong dedication to teaching was also well known to many appreciative senior communities in Riverdale, where he frequently lectured on current events and school issues. For this, he received a certificate of recognition from New York State Assembly. Dr. Heller was predeceased by his wife, Prudence, survived by nephews, family, friends. You know what? It's good to remember people. A life, that sounds like a life well lived. You know what? Travis, is there any merit? Should we do that as a once in a while segment? Should we pull this out, or was it like a little too depressing?
It's maybe if we had some fun music going on. No, you know what? I think I like it. I like it personally.
You know what? This might be the rare rejected segment that becomes a resurrected segment. TBD.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was, Holly Gutierrez says it was sad. You know what? Nothing like ending on a sad note. Boom. boom. Folks, I want to thank you for spending time with us. Thanks to everybody who was a part of the show. I had so much fun talking to y'all. Thank you to everyone at Backchannel. We're going to be back Monday at 11 a.m. on the West Coast, 2 p.m. on the East Coast. Have a great weekend, everybody. Producer Travis, thanks for keeping your hands on the wheel and pressing all of the buttons. Grass Puddle says bury that segment. I appreciate everybody. Thanks again. Stick around for The Drive with Mario Smith. We'll see you on Monday.